speaking about going within and the need to go within in order to connect. And he said, what does that actually feel like? How do we do it? And what does it actually feel like? So, how do we do it? What we can do maybe before we end satsang tonight is actually have a short meditation together. So I'll walk you through one way to do that. Anything that takes us in is the right way. There are lots of techniques of meditation, lots of paths of meditation. There's none that is better or worse than the other. Really what it's about is what works for you. All of the paths take us in. So before we leave from here tonight, I will walk us through a path, and we will do that. And then the other piece being, what does it feel like? When you read the spiritual literature, when you listen to the gurus, the saints, the sages, each of them describes it in a slightly different way. So it's important not again to latch on to, oh wait, I'm not experiencing it that way, so it must not be right. Because again, we get critical. Oh, she said it feels like this, but mine feels like that. Or he said, I'll see this, but I saw that. But for me, what it feels like is an experience of melting into an ocean, literally in which you dissolve into it, but you're also still there. So when the drop merges with the ocean, the drop doesn't disappear. All of that which was in the drop is still there, but only that which separated the drop from the ocean disappears. And so it feels like an experience of merging into an ocean, but an infinite ocean, not an ocean that has shores, of stillness, of peace, of bliss, of love, of everything. As though the ocean included everything. There is nothing that can't be included in that ocean. And so it's, again, for me, and when Puja Swamiji gives us his New Year's blessings and message, I'll ask him to also speak about that from his experience. It's connecting with that. Now, I'll tell you just a very quick, sweet story from a great, great sage named Paramhans Ramakrishna, who lived in the early part of last century. And he was describing to his disciples, his devotees one day, what the experience of entering that state of trance, of samadhi, is like, which he entered so frequently. And he'd begin and he'd say, well, so when you start, here's what it feels like. And he would take them through sort of the different stages and what they felt like. And as he got higher, he would just enter the trance, enter that state of samadhi and be unable to speak, and his devotees would wait again for hours for him to come out of it. Again he would start, again he would reach that point where he just merged into it. And this happened several times until finally he looks at his disciples with tears in his eyes and he says, I want to tell you, but the mother won't let me. And it's such a beautiful story because that which it feels like isn't actually tellable in a way with words that's going to go to the right place within you. And so every time he tried to get close enough to that place, he just became that.